Hey everybody, Chris back here. Just wanted to make a quick contest entry into Farley's Retro Fan Cave's 1,000 subs contest, and looks like he's gained a few more since then, which is great because I love his channel. Watched quite a few of his videos. His knowledge is pretty good on music, and definitely learned a lot and listened to a lot of records that he listened to as well. So I want to get this in. I know it's kind of last minute, and I apologize for that, but I just kind of knew the VC thing. And anyways, he has 4 questions, mainly pertaining to, like, your love of music and, what do you like, what you dislike about the VC. So as a new member, I thought, just give my point of view here and what I've kind of noticed since I kind of joined up. And I mean, I've been watching videos for 3 to 5 years, but anyways, the first thing was like one thing or person that kind of got you into music. Obviously, parents, play a big role in your music. So growing up when I was a kid, Beach Boys, Traveling Wilburys, Roy Orbison. My dad was a huge Parrot head, so I got every Jimmy Buffett record because of that, and I like them all. But as far as rock music and just any other, I really got into punk in high school, and that would be because a good friend of mine, Tommy, we don't really speak a lot anymore, but he was my best friend since 3rd grade, pretty much. Then we kind of all got into middle school. We were all kind of into sports and everything, and he kind of went the music direction, and I kind of went the sports direction. So we kind of stopped hanging out a little bit, but then we kind of got back together, hanging out early into high school. And he was obviously way more into music than I was, and he's actually the person that introduced me to Weezer. That was our favorite band for a while. Smashing Pumpkins, Garbage. All kinds of different stuff. He had CDs. I would just listen to it, and I'd be like, man, this is great. And I'm like, who is this? And he would just tell me. And then we kind of formed a little band. I played bass, but that was pretty much because bass is usually the easiest instrument to play. So it was the easiest thing for him to show me what to do. And they needed a bass player, so I have to thank Tommy for that. He got me into a lot of No Effects, anything on Fat Records, Bad Religion, The Vandals, Descendants, of course. I love the Descendants. But he kind of got me into all that punk. Just anything in general, really. And then from there, I just kind of, branched off into other specters, and that's that. So thank you, Tommy. Thank you, parents. Second thing was, what's my favorite thing about the VC? I kind of like that, there's just other people like me that like collecting records, like talking about records. Obviously I'm new to talking about records, but I talk about it at home, people at work all the time, and they just kind of look at me and like, yeah, I especially like the vinyl finds. That's kind of almost the funnest thing for me is, finding things. I'm kind of a deal hunter, so, I'm always, on eBay looking for stuff, or thrift stores, which thrift stores, as you all know, are kind of getting hard to find stuff nowadays. But anytime, you walk into a thrift store and you see, the top record is like a Black Sabbath or something, and you're like, oh man, this is going to be good. And you start digging, and they're all good, and they're all $1.50 or $1. And it just puts a smile on your face, But I like the vinyl finds, and I especially love the music room tours. I'm always looking for ways that, I can improve design-wise, how I could do stuff. And I feel that a lot of people have given me some inspiration on, just how I set up my music room. And I'll end up doing a tour on that later. But things in the VC that I don't like, pet peeve, I don't know. I guess that's just being nitpicky, but if I had to pick one thing, I guess it would just be, people with fancy gear, big collections. I haven't really seen people talk down to too many people, but I mean, it is overwhelming when you see all these people with these huge collections. You know, I mean, I think I have a big collection, and I see other people, and I'm like, wow. But just the fact that, you know, everybody starts somewhere, and I wish everybody would just realize that, you know, there was a time, I mean, may have been 40 years ago, may have been 30 years ago, that, you know, they only had 5 records or 50 records starting off, and I guess that's pretty much it. Just that one thing. Otherwise, everybody's great in this community, and I enjoy, you know, learning a lot from everybody. That's the main thing. My knowledge on music isn't the best. I mean, I like what I hear, but I can't spew off who was in this band, who was in that, you know, which I'm learning, which I appreciate everybody that kind of talks about that. So that was number 3. Number 4, if I could spend the day with anyone in the VC, who would it be, and what would we do? So I would pick 2 people, kind of the people that, I don't know, not necessarily that I relate to the most in the VC, which I think I do, but I would have to say Mr. Hall of Fame, Brandon over there. I've watched every single video of his that he has. I just enjoy them. I like his music room. I like how neat and precise, and, you know, even the CDs are in, you know, little Blake sleeves, and just everything's so clean. I like, I mean, even the chairs like centered in the room. I also like his taste in music, and I enjoy his stories that he has. You know, he's got a lot different stories than, you know, someone like me or anybody would have. I just like hearing everybody's stories, but for some reason he just jives with what I like watching. So he would be one. With him, I would just like to go crate digging, spend the day, maybe have some lunch, show me around town wherever he lives. I can't remember where he lives. I thought maybe he said it one time, maybe Chicago or something. But and the other person would be Zeke the Vinyl Geek. He was probably the first person that I started watching videos in the VC. I'm not sure how I got on his videos. Maybe just a keyword I typed in, but I just like to go to his house and just hang out in his music room, because it seems like he's got every record, and he sounds like he's pretty cool to hang out with, and I just maybe like to have a couple of drinks with him. I know he did a couple live videos where he was kind of drinking, so I thought that was pretty neat, and yeah, I just like to go hang out with him. Maybe introduce me some records that I hadn't heard before. I know he knows a lot about like Psych and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's so many bands that I've never heard before that it'd be interesting to get to know him and learn some more about that. So yeah, there you go. Sorry for the late entry, Farley, but hope you enjoyed it, and thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully make some videos here in the future. Thanks everybody.